as the smartest mortgage broker platform, and smartest word itself is quite important to us. We are obviously leveraging AI technology for a lot of things, and one of them will be AI SMS bot that I want to touch on today. Apart from that, we've been looking at how other ways we can use AI. So one of the things we've launched is like the whole CRM. You can talk to the CRM. It's like your virtual assistant. Instead of going and searching for leads, going into inside the lead, then typing a note or typing an email, copying the template. Like literally, you can just give a command and say, had a great conversation with Kurt, send a congratulations email, or tell Kurt that I've launched the application. And it automatically goes and searches the Kurt in the system and go, okay, these three, and I'll give you a demo of that very shortly as well, a quick one. But then we'll move on to the SMS bot scheduler, which is what we're here for. So when Kurt reached out to me, he said, Mandeep, I've heard about your SMS bot in the media. So there was a media release just end of May. It's still new, relatively new. It's beta. Would you like to do a demo? And I put my hand up mainly because demos can sometimes go horribly wrong. And I thought, you know what, let's put the challenge out there. Let's just give it a shot. If Google can get it wrong sometime, then who are we? Let's have some fun. And also it will test our limit as well, like how the bot is responding. So on that note, I'll start sharing a short presentation, like 3-4 slides I put together to talk about what we're going to do today. So please bear with me. And obviously we'll take the questions at the end. Please let me know if you can see my screen. Cool. All right. So today we're going to talk about the AI-powered appointment scheduler SMS chat we've built. It's obviously built on ChatGPT 4.0. With me today, I've got CTO Deepan and also our AI engineer Yashis. If you can both wave your hands, please. They're the main brains behind this. So I'm just a speaker or talker. But if you have any questions, obviously these guys can also answer those technical questions. My job and focus is more around the focus group and making sure the conversations that our brokers are having with their customers, what went wrong, what went right, how can we make it better in terms of the UI, UX as well. And that's where I kind of go back and work with Yash and Deepan and our team to make sure it works really well. All right. So why SMS over email or call? So these are some of the stats and there are sources around it, which I can share more in details later. So SMS has 10 times more open rate than email and 3 times more than call. So let me get a bit more into detail about it. So in the email, as you know, it goes into promotional or spam most of the time. Whereas with SMS, it can actually, it pops up on your phone and you can't miss it. You can answer it as soon as you see it. And it's a passive engagement. You can respond to it anytime. And with the calls, I don't know about you, but I get, if I see any 02 number or any number I don't recognize, I generally don't tend to answer that because, it's always mostly a spam call or some sales call. And people are getting sick of that. So if they don't recognize the number, they won't answer. So it's becoming harder and harder to reach out to people. And if a mortgage broker, in our case, is trying to reach out to a client about to a potential borrower and they don't have the number saved, as a borrower doesn't have the number saved of the broker, it's getting harder for them to kind of get in touch with them again, and they think that the lead is not interested. Then the second stat is 90% of SMS are read within 3 minutes. People could be in a meeting, they could be attending an online call or something. They can see the SMS straight away. And they can go, actually, someone's really reaching out to me. I can respond to that later, and they can decide whether they want to reply or not. Now, the most interesting fact is SMS is actually 70% cheaper than the calls that average on an average like 2 minutes. Now, it's not the call rate that's expensive, but it's also your time. They're having a conversation. You should value your hourly rate, obviously, how much you're spending time on these calls, but also 40% cheaper than emails with effort, like adding images to the emails, making sure the copyright is right, all those time that it takes. Whereas SMS, you can just blast it straight away. Okay, let's go to the next slide. So what is Effi's AI-powered appointment scheduler? So we've trained this AI SMS bot on finance broker conversation. Now, finance broker is generally the mortgage broker we're talking about here. It's a very regulated market. So you have to be careful, or the bot has to be careful, but it needs to say. And generally, the brokers are following up whether it's about the home loan rates. And people tend to get into the discussion around, hey, I will only speak to you if you can beat my rate from 5.89 from Westpac or CBA. Now, bot is not supposed to answer those things because they're not authorized or they're not credited to talk about rates. So you have to train the bot, especially in our case, we had to train the bot like not to talk about certain things. And that was a good learning curve for us. So FE Smart SMS appointment schedule checks your synced calendar. So obviously every broker who uses a platform, they sync their calendar, and we can then check when are they available, when they're not available. And it reaches out to your database that you've uploaded, or it can talk to your CRM leads, and it will have a natural conversation with the client based on whatever you want to reach out to them for. And I'll showcase that later. We'll go into details shortly. So the use cases that we've seen that are going on our platform is existing backbook annual review. So backbook is the broker has settled a loan for this customer, but it goes 6 months, 1 year later, 2 year later, they don't generally follow up. And they're trying to call the customer, but it doesn't work out. So they can actually run a bot on anyone who settled in the month of August saying, hey, Kurt, Mandeep, this is your broker, David, just as making sure that you're on a good rate. Would you like me to give you a call tomorrow to discuss your loan we've settled? And that's a good discussion starter. Or leads that have gone cold that they've acquired or were in discussion have suddenly gone cold for whatever reason, they can reach out to them. Real estate, open for inspection. So OFI means open for inspection. So they can, a lot of mortgage brokers, they have partners like real estate agents. People come for an open for inspection, but they may not have their loan sorted. So in this case, the broker can reach out to that database and say, look, great, you've inspected this property on Saturday. Have you got your finance sorted? I work with your real estate partner. We can help you out. So that's working really well. And rent roll is the same thing. So agents have people who got rentals. They can reach out saying, hey, you've been paying a lot of rent. Would you like to get into the home loan market? Or I can help you with your borrowing capacity. And there are many more other areas we're seeing as well. So what does it do? So it speaks to leads interested in discussing loans. FE's SMS points appointment scheduler engages your database, like I said, in a natural two-way conversation, and without sharing any links, and automatically books an appointment with leads in both calendars. So what we've seen so far in the market is they're sending, like 2, 3 years ago, the bots that came out were sending a link and it actually controlled the conversation. Now the client can tell straight away when you send a link saying, hey, book an appointment, and it starts flowing yes or no. It's a controlled conversation. And the client can figure out straight away, I'm talking to a bot. And that's not what they want to do. If they realize that, they'll be like, okay, well, I'll respond it when I want to, or I'm not keen on that. So that is what FE's bot kind of avoids. Like, we do not send any link. We actually have a natural conversation on that. Then it saves times and offers convenience, speed, and instant visibility. Like I said, it's cheaper than email marketing, and obviously phone calls that may not be answered by the customer due to their unavailability. Then the third, which is the most important point, is the highest response rate. We've actually received feedback from brokers that they've tried to call certain clients. They've been sending them emails, they're not getting back, and suddenly with the SMS, they're getting back to them very quickly. So that's the key kind of driver for us for the SMS bot, like why we're scaling this part as well. All right. Now, what we've seen so far, we've seen 1.5 times more booking appointments than the calls, and 6 times more than the emails that we've seen so far. Daily time saved, like I said, is average 2 minutes, and brokers on an average call 10 leads. Some of them even calling more than 10 leads, but they're saving on an average 20 minutes from us. All right, let's do the demo time. So grab your phone if you've already provided your details to us. So I'm just going to stop sharing this screen and I'll jump into the actual demo. All right, let me just go share. All right, I'm starting to see questions already, but let's just do the Q&A from the end, if that's okay with everyone. All right, so what you're seeing right now is the FE CRM system. Again, each mortgage broker group that uses a platform, they can white label it, change the branding, colors, whatever they like. And this is a Kanban view where they can see all the leads, and they can put their own workflows and stages. Before I jump into the SMS bot, I was talking about this another AI agent we've built within our CRM system. So one of the things we've noticed with other CRMs, you have to go into the lead, search for lead, and find it. I'll just give you a quick example of the AI example that I can say inform Jessica, and you can speak to it as well um, by email that her loan is approved, actually lodged, and next steps. That's all I'm saying in the prompt. And look what it does. It goes, I found one Jessica. It's in lodge status. Is that the one? I go, yes. And what's happening after that is actually it's going to go into that lead and start typing the email itself with a very short prompt, but you'll see the email that will come out of it. Now, as you can see, my hands are not on this keyboard, and it's automatically typing email and said, "Dear Jessica, I hope this finds you well, blah blah blah." It automatically pre-populates all the loan details, which I didn't even mention the prompt because it's connected to our CRM system. It tells you the interest rate, repayment type, next steps. Lender will review your application. I can accept it or I can change it and I can send it. Anyway, I just wanted to give you a quick overview of where else are we applying the AI. All right. Let's go to the SMS bot. So this is a simple SMS bot. It's connected to a CRM. I'm just going to create a quick new campaign. And we've already prepared some of the campaigns that are relevant to brokers. I'll just make it slightly bigger so everyone can see it. Okay. Now, in the campaign templates, now these are based on the conversation we are seeing that are having really positive impact and the customers are coming back. So we allow you to change the first line. So in this case, I'm going to pick up open for an inspection. I'm going to call it good meetup, make him famous. This is a fun test. Let's go. And I can create a campaign. Now, once the campaign is created, I can, like I said, I can change the first line. So it says customer first name. It'll pick up from the CSV that I'll upload. It gets my broker name and my business name. I work closely as a mortgage broker with Tim from Pulse Reality. So the use case is you went to an open house inspection from Pulse Reality or Tim from Pulse Reality, and you inspected an address called 123 TPA Street. Just a quick message to see if you like to give me to give you a call and check how much you can borrow. What time suits you best. And obviously you can test the campaign by clicking on it and see what it says. If you want to change it, you can change it. You can play around with it as well. So this is some of the UI I'm trying to show you guys. And in the contacts, I'm just going to upload the contacts. So Kurt provided me kindly all the numbers that we have registered. I'm just going to go browse and I'm going to go contacts, meetup. So all we need is a full name, email, and a phone number, these three things. Now, in most cases, they will bring their existing leads from our CRM system, but let's say in this case, they're working with a real estate partner and everyone's details are there. And let's start the fun. And you guys will get the SMS now. So read the SMS carefully and just check if it started. Yep. All right, that worked. Thank God. All right. Now, I'm hoping you guys are starting to receive the SMS. Now, the scenario is you went and inspected a property, and Tim is your Pulse Reality from Pulse Reality who showed you the property, and I work as a mortgage broker and I'm reaching out on behalf of Tim. So I'm not going to tell anything else, but start having conversation, whether you want to book in a time or you can say I'm busy. And this is the sentiment analysis we built, where you can see in real time what's happening. Obviously, you have to keep refreshing the screen as you get the responses. So someone in your team is kind of running this, and it will give you whether the person is interested or not, and it'll start moving the responses accordingly. So please start answering if you've already received the text message.
Can someone please just comment in the chat if you have actually received the SMS? I just want to see just to make sure there are people receiving it. Perfect.
Received
Okay.
it? Okay, cool.
Nice.
All right, so let's see if first one, and some of the names I removed it, so if you're not being that reason, wrong person, maybe he didn't attend this meeting, so he's just going wrong person, which is fine. And the purpose of the bot is not to now respond to it, but it actually sent me a text message on my mobile in my app saying, I need you to respond to this. So I, as a broker, so this is a functionality we've received as a feedback, I can start responding. And I can say, sorry, I'm just doing a demo for Kurt's meetup. You registered your number, just so he doesn't complain to Kurt. Okay, let's look at what William said. I know what I want. I want to know what I can borrow and how quick is the process. So again, the bot's purpose is to make sure not go into detail, but it's an appointment scheduler. So it's saying our finance partner will discuss your borrowing capacity because he said what I can borrow and the process in detail over a call and how quick is the process. Would there be convenient time for you to have discussion? Let's look at others. All right, let's see. Or Saturday morning is best. Great. Here's the available spot for Saturday morning, and it actually checks. So I can set in the bot like these are my available hours, like for 7 days, or I can say I don't work on weekend, and it said okay 9 a.m. and it picked the time, and it obviously sends a SMS after that from my personal number saying, "Hey Peter, we booked the time," or in this case I actually spent it wrong. Sorry, Peter. But yeah, it will send a separate SMS after that confirming that appointment, and it's in your calendar. And it also sends my credit guide, which is a requirement from yeah, for mortgage brokers. Let's see what William said. I'm looking to compare rates only, and it's saying, okay, well, we can still do a free finance health check. Would this all be of interest? Let's see. Well, what rate can I get? Finance partner will discuss the rate. I'm a bit busy these days. Well, the bot said, I understand. Could you let me know a general time frame that works for you? Like, well, blah, blah, blah. Next month, maybe. Sure, I can help with that. How about we look at the first week of August? Would that work for you? If so, can I provide you available slots? Yep. And it actually provides you slots for next month. Like, but obviously wants to book in like 1st August. It says 10 a.m. Great, your appointment is booked. So look at the conversation. It's very natural where this person cannot obviously figure out, obviously now you know there's a bot and tries to book an appointment as well. All right. Let's see if there's anyone else who responded. Cool. Anyway, we'll stop sharing there because I was obviously want to open up for questions. But once the appointment is booked, it automatically gets added as a lead in my queue as well. And also then sends a notification on my mobile, like I have a new appointment booked for this time. Like this is all coming on my mobile app as well. And it's also booked in my calendar as well, the times that have been requested. Anyway, on that note, I'll probably stop sharing and happy to answer any questions. It's very straightforward, simple tool that we built. But so far, we've generated over, I think it's over already crossed 5,000 conversations. We're getting a lot of feedback, good feedback where the brokers have gone, this is something that's saving me a lot of time. Now, we've built it for mortgage broker market, but it can be applied to any market. Think about real estate agents, even doctors or medical practitioners trying to book an appointment. You just have to change the parameters, and it can be deployed in any environment. So, any questions?
We do have some questions in the
Yep.
chat. I think majority was from Abdul. I don't know whether Abdul, if you want to ask yourself or you want me to ask for you. What's your preference? I, I don't mind it. Yeah.
Yep. So I'll just go.
Maybe I'll ask.
We
I'll ask him.
can If you
Yeah,
want, you can unmute them as well, so we can have conversation.
yeah. Let me just to see if I can do that. One sec.
Uh,
Oh, well, actually, hold on. Oh, what did I just do?
I
Oh,
think I
crap.
got muted.
I think they should be able to unmute themselves, right? Yeah? Hold on. You know what? Let me just read it out. I think that might be easier. The first question from Abdul was, let me just quickly go back to the chat. Where am I? What do you use to send the SMSs? Yeah.
So we use this platform called Twilio to send the SMS. So that is what we use.
So,
Twilio.
yep. I mean, it's very popular kind of SMS tool. Yeah. Have you also considered on extending to other messaging systems like Telegram, WhatsApp, and so forth?
Yeah, so we've been exploring that. Right now, we just want to get the SMS. Obviously, in Australia, it's kind of a privacy-driven market with the general Australians, and with the general feedback we got was if we were to send someone a WhatsApp, like they don't view it like. Whereas in
Mm,
Southeast Asian market, it's quite open. Like you can send in
yeah,
like a Telegram or WhatsApp. Yes, we will be exploring those, but we just want to get the SMS right first, and then we'll be moving into other messaging systems for sure.
good point.
Um, so
Next, yeah, sorry, you go. Mm.
yeah, so question from William. My question is, can you show how you may provide links in the text message? We can provide links in the text message if you want to. Like we can intervene, obviously, and the bot can do that. The whole purpose is not to provide links, so make it look natural. Like yes, someone asked like, what's your website address? Yes, you can add the link. But if I add a link where it said book an appointment using my Calendly, the customer is just going to go, yeah, if you want me to do all the work, then not interested. So the whole purpose is not to have those links and have a natural conversation in this case.
Yeah, that's really powerful. Louise also asking, is this a B2B or B2C product?
It's a B2B product. Louisa, you mentioned that you joined late. So we're actually a CRM system for mortgage brokers. We released this as a feature add-on feature, and it's picking up a lot. So it's actually kind of being more coming in demand than the CRM system at some point. But yeah, like we're planning to release a separate product maybe later this year. Right now, we're just testing with our own customers.
Mm. I think William got another question. Can you use it like a newsletter when you can have them open links? I think it's also to do with links. If so, then what types of links or platforms they can open?
I'll probably pass this question to Deepan, if he's still here. I think you'll have to unmute Deepan. Or
Yeah, sure. Can you hear me?
yes.
Yeah. So can you use it like a newsletter where you can have them open links? Yeah, so we can control that experience. How the AI part works is, you can plug in a lot of tools to this AI. Even now, we have some tools plugged in to check the broker's availability. Likewise, if you need to plug in some specific newsletter links or embed certain things, we can integrate more and more tools to the AI component. So that way, newsletters can be included as well. Is that the question?
Yeah, I think just because me, I'm a product manager, right? I think it more sounds like a product manager sort of a question. I think but basically the capabilities there, there's a lot of things you can do, but it depends on the requirements, or depending on the use case, or depending on like what we need, then you guys can go out and look for those sort of integration and those potentials.
Good.
For
Can
sure.
the bot be trained with company data to have personalized response? Yeah, we've actually trained our own the agent we were showing you. So we get a lot of support requests. How do I do this in the CRM? So we've actually trained the bot on our own support material, and it actually has a conversation with the broker saying, let me show you how to do this. And to do this, like you need to click here. So it's actually a company data where it's kind of giving a personalized response on how to do certain things in our CRM system. And that's the same way a support person would have explained it, but now it's available 24/7 because we noticed that brokers work till late night so they can get those answers in a personalized way. Do you calculate the cost per SMS campaign? So we actually made it simple for the brokers by just charging $1 per conversation end to end per client. So that conversation is open for 72 hours. So if a customer responds back 24 hours later or 48 hours later, and even the one you've received, you can actually say, actually, I've changed my mind. Can I reschedule, or I've got to pick up my kids, and it will rebook again. So it reschedules your appointment as well, only up to 72 hours. So we don't charge 5 cents or 6 cents per SMS because it's just really hard. The brokers know upfront if I'm going to upload 200 contacts, I'm going to be charged $200. So they can work out their cost. And for the AI component is your backend chat GPT. Yash, do you want to explain that? Or?
Yes. So it is not exactly ChatGPT, but we use a LangChain agent along with the LLM GPT-4o. So is it similar to ChatGPT? Yes. Is it exactly ChatGPT? No. I hope that answers your question, Luis.
So Josh had a question with the white labeling feature. Is it like go high level where we download the software, design yourself with the brand colors, logo, etc.? So Josh, it's kind of a go high level, yes. But ours, because we focus on the mortgage broker market, like that, they require a lot more kind of custom things like open banking, bank statements, which Go High Level doesn't do. We're well aware of Go High Level, but yes, it does require a bit more hand holding than a Go High Level one, mainly because of the processes the brokers have, the workflows they have, and it takes them time. So we kind of like help them build it very quickly and get them go live. But yes, if you want to use just certain features like the SMS bot, you wouldn't need assistance at all. It's straightforward. Next question from Abdul is, how do you train the AI component to make sure they compose the messages within the SMS character limit? And will the AI learn to use shortened message lingo like O to V, TW or TQ or BRB, etc.? I'm showing my age now. It's a very interesting question, and that's one of the challenges we had, like where and Yash can probably elaborate more on it. Like we had the hallucination issue as well, so we had to control that side. You want to make sure that you're dealing with a regulated market, right? So there's certain things we're not allowed to say. We're not allowed to say best rate. So you have to train the bot not to use those words. And then you have to stick to SMS character limit. So you have to tell the bot respond within the 160 characters. Because AI loves to chat, right? So you can be having a long conversation and your SMS bill will be through the roof. So we had to kind of learn that. But on the short message, I think I'll pass it on to Yash, but I don't think we had to train on the shortened message. Like AI is really smart on picking those things itself. I mean, the best part was, Kurt, if you were on the last call, someone said, I'm going on a, like, don't call me because I'm going on a short term break with my kids. And the AI bot actually said, happy holidays and have a safe trip. And it just wowed me. Like, we never trained on that. So how did we even have this personality? So yeah. Yes, you want to answer that, like the shortened message lingo?
Yep. So when it comes to the shorter message, we can actually implement a few uh, guardrails in LangChain. So we can actually restrict the amount of token which it generates. So one token is roughly about 4 words. So we do have a rough idea about what we can limit it to. So we can't ask it to give us an answer in exact 160 characters because that may not always work. But we can restrict it to a certain number of tokens. So the end answer or the end message which it generates will be short. So the LangChain framework which we use gives us control over all of this.
Thanks, Yash. Then question from William is, have you had issues with spam law in Australia? And do you offer this to other businesses other than mortgage brokers? Last question, is there more of a demo in how it deals with mortgage related um, questions? All right, so I'll go one by one. So have we had any issues with spam law? So we make it very clear to the brokers, this is not a bulk SMS marketing tool. Like you need to know, you need to have consent from the customer upfront. We haven't built the consent side yet, and we make the brokers responsible for that. So we get them to agree and send the terms as well that you own this database. If you don't, then you're liable for it. Um, and most of them understand because they just want to reach out to the customers that are not going to say, who are you or how did you get my details? So yes, we haven't built that part yet, but we haven't had that issues yet. And we're making it very sure, even when they launch the campaign, there is a terms of use that you need to make sure you have the proper consent to be able to contact the client. Do you offer this to other businesses other than mortgage brokers? No, right now. Like I said, probably end of this year, we'll start looking at how we can offer it to other businesses. Right now, we offer to mortgage brokers. We are moving to asset finance and commercial loans, like offer it to them because there's kind of a similar vertical. But we will look at like we had demand from real estate agents reaching out, so we're looking at that side as well. But nothing concrete at this point. We just want to get the mortgage broking right first. Is there more of a demo in how it deals with mortgage-related questions? Obviously, we're training the bot behind the scenes on all these questions or some curveball questions sometimes we get, or even things like, can you do reverse mortgage? So the bot needs to know what is a reverse mortgage is and respond accordingly. It doesn't need to explain what reverse mortgage is, but how to understand that lingo of loan to go, yep, we can talk about it. Our clients or our brokers can handle that. Can we discuss time? Again, purpose of the bot is to drive them to set up a meeting. So Josh's question is this compatible with countries out of AU? At this stage, we haven't trained on anything outside of Australia. Right now, we're focusing on Australian market because, as you can imagine, someone can even ask like, what is the stamp duty for New South Wales? It's not supposed to answer that stamp duty, but it can then handle conversation lingo again, what matters in Australia. When we started deploying this early on, like it was very Americanized, so we had to train on Australian side. But when we're looking to launch in the New Zealand market, and that's obviously they have different some sort of language as well in terms of like they don't use just they'll say kia ora, so that the bot has to understand that part. So we're kind of training that part. But yes, right now it's not compatible out of Australia. Short answer.
Cool. I think that's all the questions from the chat. If there's no more questions from the chat, I actually do have a couple of additional questions just to cover from a more broader sort of a aspect. My first question is, Mandeep, how what were some of the biggest challenges your team has faced when developing this application?
I think I'll leave the technical side with Yash and Deepan because they had more on the the LangChain agent side and the .NET service. I think for me, it was more around like the hallucination side. Like we had to make sure that it's not answering. Like we had in the first week for launch, I remember the bots. Someone said, "Oh, can you do a better rate?" I've got a rate from ANZ for like 6.02, and the bot said, "Yeah, I can help you out with the Suncorp deal from 5.79." The answer wasn't wrong. The the question is, can the broker do that Suncorp deal or not? Like, are they accredited with it? So this is the problem we have, like where we kind of control that side, and that challenge itself, like there we had to train on so many words that bot cannot even talk about, like best rate. You cannot say these things. You have to say suitable rates. So some lending requirements, and that kind of training took a while, even though we're only like 5 weeks old with this whole bot and it's handling all of that really well. But just a quick training we had to do to make sure we're not breaching any thing for the brokers when they're using this. So that was the business side of challenge. In terms of technical, Yash, do you want to elaborate a bit more on that, or Deepan?
Sure, Nadeem. So, speaking technically, again, all we were striving for from day one was to make sure that for the brokers who are going to use it, this bot will not cause any harm. As Mandeep said, in one conversation, it said that yes, I can do 5.7%, but that might not always be true. And if the user or if the client would ask the bot some other specific question about a mortgage, it can just, sometimes it can generate things which are not true at all. It can just tell you that yes, this bank uh, can give you, you know, a interest rate of like 2%, but that will not be true. So, with Mandeep's help, I was able to gather enough early feedback. So, we know that what questions should be directed to the broker itself. So, we have a neat feature called statuses. So, if the status turns need attention, it means that the question is not the question is for the broker and not the bot itself. So when the bot thinks, oh, I might make a mistake when I'm replying to this question, it does not. It just turns the status to needs attention so that the broker can handle the conversation. So making sure that it turned to need to that status whenever needed was the biggest challenge which we had from a technical standpoint.
And just adding to more on that, that I think one of the things we did really well was the focus groups. So we collected a lot of feedback from the broker groups, and these are groups who have got like 30 brokers running like thousand of conversations in like 1 week straight away. And they were very quick to like help us out, saying, "Hey, you shouldn't have said this." Like they were watching all these conversations. Obviously, their credit license is on the line, and that quick feedback that we were getting, we were able to kind of implement quickly and like give them the wow experience, and they go, yep, that's fine, like, we understand it's in beta mode. But yeah, that really helped the focus group discussions and getting quick feedback from our customers.
Got it. Awesome. Just one more question from my side. This is probably a bit more macro level. Just given you guys quite in the weeds of doing this from an industry perspective, like what's your view or what's your sort of insights on the current trends or challenges with the Gen AI powered sort of a product innovation in the financial services or banking industry within Australia at the moment?
I think just finding the right use cases. Obviously, there's some hype around it where we've seen, voice calls being made, and we've actually looked at voice calls. I mean, that can go horribly wrong. Like with the SMS, at least it can say, "Hey, I need attention. Can someone jump in?" What are you gonna do with the voice call? Like you can't say, "Hey, I need attention. Can someone join the call?" Like that itself has its own challenges. So if you can find the right use cases where brokers, they're just so busy and they don't like this admin task of I want to make 100 calls today or 20 calls. They just want to speak to someone who's serious about it. And that was one of the challenge we had in our CRM system. So we said, okay, why don't we launch this SMS bot? And that picked up really well. So they kind of see the value. Or like, I don't have time to go, like I just had a great call. I just want to give a prompt to your CRM. You do that part. Like, why do I have to go search for a lead, then find the right template for lodgement I need to type? Like, you should learn from my behavior. And that kind of triggered that the example I showed you. And the other one we are now exploring is now document AI. So for home loan applications, you're submitting like 30, 40 documents if you're like a joint couple, like, and you're filling out 150 sort of fact find questions. So they're saying, well, I answered all these questions and then I'm uploading all these documents. You could have smartly just extracted that information out of documents, which I had to provide in first place anyway. So why don't you do that part? Like, why don't you make it easy? So we're kind of exploring that side as well. So if you have the right use cases, yes, Gen AI can be very helpful. And obviously there's so much, scare around, like, is it going to take my job away? But that's not the case. It's more of an enabler. People come to brokers for a reason. And that's like getting a good advice. I trust you. But they should not be coming to broker, obviously, for these admin tasks. And the broker should not be spending time on these admin tasks as well. That's where we're going to take the pain away and say, you focus on building relationship and giving the right advice. We'll take care of all these admin piece.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Those are all the questions I have. I think for the listeners, today, if there's like one or two advices you can give them just in terms of the things they can take it away, whether they want to do their own startups in Gen AI or maybe they are the consumers of the Gen AI technology in the financial services or in their own space, what are some good advice, practical advice you can provide to
Look,
them?
I think Gen AI has huge potential. I feel like it's the new revolution. Like it's the like next kind of the telephone invention. This is my personal view,
Yeah.
and just take advantage of that and come up with some real use cases. And whatever you build it for, like make sure you have constant feedback from the customer, iterate, speak to your customer more closely, just launch it quickly, focus on the UI side as well. Like, we had a really good feedback in the last 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and feedback was more around, but it's an existing lead. Why did you create an appointment with a new lead? It should have just been on the same lead. But if it's a settled lead, why did you create on the same lead? It should have been new lead because they settled 3 years ago. So it should be created as a new lead. And why didn't it just copy the information that was already provided by the customer? It should have copied the document. Like that part really helped us. Like, and then you can only launch that once you talk to your customer. So make sure you stay closer to your customer as well, but have that vision as well. And there are many use cases I can think of already, like AI agents. I think is the next big thing as well that could revolutionize things.
Agree. And also for us, what can we do for you guys? I mean, like if there's anything you guys from an action or ask perspective, like what is the favor we can return to you guys? Yeah.
Oh, look, give us a shout out. If you like it, please mention us on LinkedIn if you can. We just want to spread the word out. Again, we try to put ourselves out there. Make sure we do live demos. We don't believe in doing like recorded videos because hey, if something goes wrong, we want to learn from it, and fix it quickly because there could be a conversation we can train the bot on quickly. And thank you again for taking the part. Really appreciate it. But yeah, if you can give us a shout out, that would be great.
Amazing.
Thank
We do have one more question from Josh here. Have you tested this with any real estate agents or companies yet? I think you have,
Yeah,
right?
so the real estate agents are currently using, but only for the mortgage side, obviously provided by mortgage brokers. We had a couple of big real estate groups reach out to us saying, can you make sure that it works for real estate agents? Short answer is yes. Once we get the broking side right, which is kind of working now, we will take this module out and probably release it as its own product and train it on real estate agents as well. So I mean, things like contract of sale, the things they follow up on that can be easily trained on.
Yeah, that's amazing. I used to work in prop tech previously, sort of like property management software. So I can see some strong use case for this in that space as well. So yeah, it's just very useful application you guys created. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, amazing. I think that's all the questions we have. Really appreciate it. We don't have to stay all the way to 8 o'clock. So really appreciate the time, and even you and your team. And thank you everyone for staying back on a Tuesday night, this late. Hopefully everyone at home, learn a bit here and there, and we'll be keep doing this. This is going to happen every Tuesday. I mean, sorry, every second Tuesday. That's the plan, and I'll keep you guys posted with the next session. I think we already have that scheduled. Just go onto the meetup page. I'll be sending the invite through as well. And for this recording, I'll be sharing this after. I will probably do some editing. I think just making sure, hashing out some sort of a private data and everything, and then I'll share the recording. I'll put it on LinkedIn. Feel free to share, like, and reshare, just to get the word out for Mandeep and the team. Yeah. So thank you, Mandeep. Really appreciate it.
Kurt. I just want to ask is there somehow I want to get in touch with you?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn. So if you just search my name, Kurt Yang, on LinkedIn, I'm pretty sure I'm the first one pops up. I've done some SEO stuff for my name, so I think I'll be the first one to pop up.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good night, and I'll see you guys in 2 weeks' time.
Thank you, Kurt. Thank you, Mandeep.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye, guys. See ya.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Bye.
Mandeep. Where's Mandeep? Bye.